We just saw Old Fashioned, and on this show I take my friends, we go see a movie, we review it in the car, and then we have a discussion. The review part is spoiler-free, so if you're looking for a recommendation or you're on the fence and trying to decide if this is the movie for you, watch the review, find out. If you've already seen the movie or don't care to and just want to know everything we thought, spoilers, be damned, you can watch the whole thing, and we will talk about all of that stuff. Old Fashioned is this movie that sort of snuck out. It came out on Valentine's Day. I didn't know a whole lot about it. Saw the trailer, saw that it was playing. One of the trailers was this anti-50 Shades of Grey, or like, this movie is not the 50 Shades of Grey movie, it's a different style, or, you know, it's an old-fashioned style of love story.
Sweet and romantic.
And then there's another one that's just more of just a straightforward, you know, it kind of looks like a romantic comedy or a romantic movie.
Lies. All lies.
What it really is a really warped
vehicle for the main character.
For the writer, director, and star to give us his philosophy on love mixed with religiosity and Jesus stuff. It's well shot.
Can't say anything nice.
It's poorly acted, poorly directed, poorly written, horribly written.
Poorly thought out.
It could stand to have at least 30 minutes taken out of it without any problem. There's conversations that they show footage from other parts of the movie for no reason. That sort of stuff's going on. And it sort of forgets, not too far into the movie, it kind of forgets that there's a woman in the movie. Instead of it being about the couple and the couple getting together and about what's his problems and how he's working through them and her problems and how she's working through them, it's all about him.
Pretty much.
And she's just there to smile and play along until he inevitably makes up his mind, and
yeah,
it seems inevitable for the first hour or so.
Except in anyone else's life, the inevitable would have been her just giving up and saying goodbye.
Well, yeah.
But, yeah.
I mean, even in the 2 hours of the movie, if that had been in real time, she would have given up and said goodbye.
Right, that's true. Yeah.
There were people in the theater that we envied for walking out half an hour or so before it was over.
There were, what, 8
5,
people
6,
in the theater?
yeah.
Maybe, most. 3 of them left before the movie finished. We both had to take a break.
Yeah. Yeah, and certainly would have left if we weren't doing review.
Yes.
Certainly would have. It got to a point where it was so ridiculous and so outrageous that I had to know how it was going to finish. I had to know it was going to, like, not that I didn't know what was going to happen, but just how bizarre and ridiculous it was going to be.
I kind of secretly hope there would be some strange twist that we weren't expecting.
Yeah.
There wasn't.
It's stranger than Winter's Tale, which is like one of the weirdest, like, romantic movies that I've seen in a long time. The religiosity, honestly, isn't that big of a problem. It's just the movie is so immature, the storytelling is so bad, and the selfishness of the main character, who's supposed to be, you know, it is what he realizes at the end, is that he's being selfish even though he thinks he's being a good person.
He's
and
protecting her.
Yeah, he's created all these rules to protect women from his bad past self. Yeah, anyway, do not see this movie under any circumstances.
Yeah, there's no group I would recommend this to.
It's not so bad, it's good. It's like, if there are people that think that something like 50 Shades of Grey is the worst movie out right now, oh no. Oh, not at all. That is endlessly watchable compared to this.
Yes.
What did you think?
Yeah.
What's your review?
I am almost speechless. Honestly, it's kind of offensive. Like, I think it's...
Kind of?
So, well, okay, as a female, I think it's kind of offensive.
Yeah.
Because it is just so, like... And you said it's immature, and that's the thing, I think. It's like what a relationship might be like if you were both 12, 13, and very religious, and he's making all of the decisions about really everything about their relationship. But specifically, I think the things about the physicality of their relationship, that he just dictates.
Every aspect of their relationship is his control.
And she just kind of plays along and thinks it's endearing.
Yeah, she's interested. It's like and at first it makes sense because it's like, this guy's really different. This guy, why does he have these rules? Then you start learning about why he has the rules.
Well, and that goes back to 13-year-old girls. Like, they like bad boys and they like weird boys. Like, boys that are a little bit different from the norm and from everyone else. And, yeah.
But it also becomes like, he's the only guy in town. Like, that is really what it feels like for a long time, too. And that's not the case, but that's just the way the movie, like, sets it. Like,
yeah.
She just, and she keeps doing things to her house to make him come
which
over.
Which is also offensive. Like, her strategy to woo him, which, yeah, whatever, is to break things in her apartment because he's her landlord, so he can come over and rescue her from...
Yeah, she clogs the garbage disposal. She,
takes the door off its hinges.
Takes a hinge out of the door.
Yeah.
She breaks the refrigerator door at one point.
Oh, I missed that part.
She just takes a screw out of the refrigerator door, and it's like simple stuff that he can like fix in like 5 minutes, but because like he won't be in the same room with her, like it's basically just an excuse for her to sit on the porch and watch him do stuff.
Plus, we really don't know anything about her. Like, we know she's been previously married. We get that sort of late in the game.
Like, they painfully draw that stuff out of her eventually.
We just know she thinks his ideas are odd, but we don't really know why or what her opinions are as they differ from his.
Yeah.
At all.
Well, and so, review over. Movie sucks. Don't bother.
Yeah, please don't.
All bets are off. We can say whatever we want at this point, because we will get into spoilers. Yeah, she's breaking stuff to get him to come up and hang out and do everything. The movie, so from a storytelling perspective, the movie should be from her perspective, and it's not. It's from his perspective. She doesn't have any depth, or we don't understand much of anything about her, and we don't
know why she ended up in the town at all.
Well, we know that, okay, so you might have missed part of it. So she painted her nails and her boyfriend broke her hand.
Right, okay.
And that's why she left.
Right.
She was also married at one point, extremely briefly. She got married when she was like 19. He has like this Girls Gone Wild video that he made and that he was like super successful with, and that's when...
But what does she do? Is she working?
Yeah, exactly.
No, she just hangs out in her apartment and breaks things so that she can get his attention.
Yeah, and I don't know if she's supposed to be working with those other two women when she's hanging out with them. Oh, in the
flower shop, maybe?
Yes.
Oh, maybe.
I don't know if they're supposed to be working together, but for the amount of times that they go back there, that's my guess, is that's...
okay.
It's not very well established, but that's my guess as to what she is doing for work. Because she is saving money. They are showing that, and she's not doing it by selling herself, because that's not anything that happens in the movie.
No sex, if you're looking for...
The movie ends with them getting engaged, and he kisses her on the cheek.
Yes.
The height of passion.
Right. Well, yes.
And it would be okay if the movie set this up as, like, if it were from her perspective, if it were in her head, and there was this thing where we knew that that's what she wanted, or that was something that she admired about him, was that he had all this restraint physically, and that, but instead it's like he's afraid of what he's going to do to her. You know, and there's that Kelly girl that he's like sorry because she got pregnant on the rebound after he broke it off with her. And
right. Well, and even his reason for his rationale isn't very sound. Like,
his rationale for what?
not wanting to, like, for not wanting their relationship to go there so quickly.
It's not even so quickly. It's like, he tells her right at the beginning, until we're married,
oh, right,
I will only kiss a woman on the cheek,
right,
and I won't be alone in the same room with her.
But it seems like going too far the opposite direction. I mean, again, it's...
You think?
Well, so I think it's still not respecting women. It's just it's just going too far the other direction. I mean, it's the same, like, you are an object and I get to decide how I use you.
And the way that the movie's directed and the way that it's shot, because it's from his perspective, there's these long lingering shots of him kind of sitting by himself. There's long lingering shots of his, like, torn up jeans on his shoes.
I know what his shoes look like.
Like, all the time they're showing that.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to be like, the movie is like, honestly, it's trying to say to women in the audience, wouldn't it be great if there were a guy like this?
No.
And it's not, the answer to that question is no.
Right. Maybe somebody wants to.
It would be great if the movie made us believe that were the case. It would be great if the movie were to make us believe that that particular woman was interested in that.
So honestly, for most of the movie, I kind of wondered if it was going to come out that he had some sort of, like, autism or something. He was just that awkward. Like, sort of, you know, like 13-year-old boy awkward.
There was a moment,
like,
there was a really, really strange moment toward the end of the movie where she got to the grocery store that he had turned into, like, Shangri-La or whatever they were going to do there. And there was a woman there to let her in, who kind of looked like him.
Oh, yes.
And I thought, oh God, is he going to tell her that she's actually a woman? Like, he's a transgender.
Basically, we were starting to use our imagination because there was so little
because the movie was not filling much in for us.
Yeah.
There's also a huge missing scene. So, like, there's lots of evidence that they just didn't give a lot of thought to the woman. They just basically gave her the scenes and gave her the lines to give the guy something to respond to. Like, she's just a token. She's just she's a placeholder in the movie. The most egregious thing, though, is that there's the like montage of they've broken up, and she's like packing all her stuff and she's getting ready to leave, and she takes the big jar that has all the money that she's going to use for gas money to move to the next place off the wall, and she's crying and she's sad. And he's, like, not sure what to do, and he goes and talks to his aunt. His aunt's basically like, you're an idiot, go get her back. And he sends the chauffeur, his friend, to dress up as a chauffeur to go and get her. And he leaves, like, a envelope on her door.
A handmade note card.
Yeah, and she opens the door and sees the chauffeur and is just as excited as she was in scene 1 of the movie.
Yeah.
About him, just as interested again, happy to read the note, happy to follow him into whatever is going on. Right. And she sees him, they say I love you, and he asks her to marry her. She says yes, and then he kisses her on the cheek.
Well, and that's, yeah.
And they never explain how she changed her mind from, like, She literally went from she's packing her stuff. I mean, the movie makes it seem like she's already gone.
Right. So
And then she just shows up and she's happy and, oh, look, he sent me a car.
well, so we compared this to 50 Shades of Grey, but I mean, really, it seems like a path to emotional abuse. Like, he runs hot,
It is-
he runs
it is
cold.
emotional abuse.
And so, yeah, I mean, that's, yeah.
It is emotional abuse. It's emotional abuse masquerading as, I've made mistakes in the past, therefore I know what's best for both of us.
Yeah,
And if you can't live with that, you can't be with me.
yeah.
But you obviously want to be with me because I wrote your character, and so...
Plus, you're renting my space, so
Yeah.
I'm in charge of you, too.
Yeah,
That's not creepy at all.
you keep breaking all my shit.
You're not getting that deposit back, that's for sure.
Yes. Oh, Jesus. Will you ever inspire a movie that's not crap?
Oh, there were some Bible quotes, too. That was a nice touch.
Oh, yeah.
There's several. The Bible didn't feature prominently in several scenes.
Yeah. That's old-fashioned. If you like the way we do these movie reviews, please like the video, subscribe, share it with your friends, and check out all the written and video reviews over at DaleMaxfield.com, and thanks for watching.